My girlfriend talks in her sleep. At first it was cute and hilarious to tell her what she said. It was harmless nonsense, the sky is folding. Or we need to raise the ground. We'd talk the next day about if she remembered her dream, but she never did. I wish I knew what she meant by we need to raise the ground. Some context: our nightly routine is for us to start out cuddling and then give up, once it gets too hot. Then we're usually both on our sides, back to back. She would fall asleep before I do, and so I would hear the full range of her nightly musings. Honestly, at first I was eager to hear what she said. It was always funny to tell her and our friends what she would say while deep in the throes of REM. But now I'm done, I'd prefer she not talk anymore. How am I going to sleep after what happened last night? Last night around 11 p.m, she was asleep and I was still up reading. Back to back, I hear her mumble something under her breath. I couldn't quite make out what she said, but I lean over from my book to peek at her face and she is sleeping soundly. I return to my book, get absorbed back into its pages. At some point I fall asleep. Next thing I know, I'm woken up by my girlfriend talking at full volume. I open my eyes, and at some point in the night both of us have turned to lay face to face. My girlfriend's eyes are wide open, she is staring right at me, mere inches from my face. But her eyes are vacuous, like she is looking through me. These eyes, man, it's like she was straining to widen them as much as possible. Those are the eyes I fell in love with, and right now they are scaring the absolute piss out of me. My heart rate skyrockets, and chock full of adrenaline I throw off the covers and jump out of bed. Looking at her, her eyes follow me like a painting, but her body stays still. For 1 second I decided that my book light was keeping her awake, and what she had said was, "Can you please turn that off?" Now out of bed and looking at her, she's not right. Her body hasn't moved, but her eyes dart from looking at me to looking around the room. I dare to ask her, "Are you all right?" No response. Those eyes look at me when I speak, though. They are now deadlocked, looking right into my eyes. Her breathing hasn't changed, that is a sleep breathing for sure. That's when, while looking right at me, she says in a too deep voice, "Come back to bed, dearie." My girlfriend has never called me dearie before. We have pet names, sure, but they range from pumpkin, baby, to cupcake. Dearie sounds like something my grandmother would call me. I decide I'll get more information before I climb back into bed with a potentially possessed girlfriend. "Are you awake, sweetie?" No response. The eyes dart from me to the wall, to the door, and then the ceiling. I'm about to nope out of the room when her wide open eyes rolled to the back of her head. The white from those eyes stands out in the dim radiance of the booklight. No pupils in sight, she insists. "Of course I'm awake, come back to bed." With a subtle tap of the fingers on the comforter. Looking at her fingers now, I'm starting to come around. She's never sleepwalked before, surely she is awake now if she is moving her hands. But looking at her fingers, it as though she is pretending to have control. They are all going in different directions, one finger pointing straight down, and the others to the side. Those hands are not my girlfriend's hands, they are simulating normal movement as best they can, though. I say, "I'm going to get a drink of water, baby, be right back. Can I get you anything?" Fully planning to run out of the house the moment I'm over the threshold. But my normally agreeable and sweet girlfriend decides I'm not allowed to leave. As serious as cancer, she says in that too deep horror voice, "Take one step out of that door and I will rip out your throat and shit down your neck." Shocked but understanding the importance of not letting this beast know I am in trouble, I reply, "As interesting as a proposition as that is, I think I'm going to." And thinking quickly, I grab my water bottle from the nightstand. This doesn't please my girlfriend, as she decides to start screaming and fingering her way towards me. It is a supernatural scream, so high-pitched and bird-like I feel as though my neighbors 3 houses down were going to ask us if they heard that last night. As fast as I can muster, I unscrew the lid and douse her in water. Like I knew what I was doing, her eyes close, her garbled appendages normalize, and she is back asleep. I'm going to sleep on the couch for a while, maybe forever. She'll understand when she's awake. My hands tremble over the keyboard, and I may have a concussion, so please forgive any typos or brevity of my update. It is the morning after my typically amenable and kind-hearted girlfriend's body was possessed in sleep by some malicious entity. I've been distant this morning, so she knows something is amiss. But obviously still reeling from the experience. I can't tell her yet that she tried to rip out my throat and shit down my neck. You understand? I'm tired. Obviously I didn't sleep last night, but I did stay up most of the night with all the lights on, feverishly clutching my water bottle in the living room. The demonic beast inside my GF managed to creep its way back into control sometime soon after I exited the room and pinned it closed with a dining room chair. Given her eye movements and the activation delay, my theory is that the beast is allowed control during REM, but what do I know? It spent most of the evening attempting to coax me back into the bedroom, this time with a pinch more emotional intelligence, calling out to me in what was as close to my GF's normal voice as it could manage. Come to bed, sweetie, why are you sleeping on the couch again? I decide I'm not going to validate this demon with a response. But moments later, the too deep sinister voice is back. If you don't open this door, I will slit the cat's throat. Fuck. I forgot about the cat. He's still in the bedroom, probably cowering in fear, hissing in the corner to no avail. My guess is that the cat is already dead, but what can I do? Let our beloved kitty be eaten alive by someone he trusts. I've seen enough horror movies to know that this is the moment I have to decide to do something dumb and heroic, or die on screen while everyone yells about how much of an idiot I am for opening the door. I may have a little more sympathy for these characters now, people thrust into impossible situations are forced to make impossible choices. Against my better judgment, I'm going to open the door, get the cat out of the room. I'm staring at the bedroom door now and notice something damp and muscly poking and prodding its way out from under the door. I point my phone's flashlight at it and realize it is my girlfriend's tongue. I catch myself experiencing an intrusive thought, wondering if she will want to know why her mouth is full of cat hair tomorrow. But this is perfect. I need to test out my new technique, a spray bottle full of sink water. I spray the tongue as it inchworms itself around the edge of the door, presumably looking for purchase on my human flesh. It immediately recoils, and I hear the body inside collapse. Water is still a demon possession off switch, I decide, and immediately tear the chair away from holding the door locked. I don't even have time to think about whether I have holy water on tap, I need to act fast. Attempting to open the door now, my so's unconscious body is blocking me from entering. It requires quite a bit of force to slide her ragdoll body behind the door so I can squeeze through. Trying not to look too closely at her, I realize now that she is sweating a black oily substance and the bed and floor are totally drenched. I realize the reason it was so difficult to open the door, the demon sweat is sticky. She may be stuck to the ground. Carefully avoiding stepping in the demon superglue, I'm now inside the bedroom. To my dismay, I don't see the cat right away. It makes sense, frightened as hell it must have crawled and hid under the bed. Yikes! I've got to persuade it out from under there now, but that will mean I need to get down on my belly and reach under the bed. Realizing the absurdity of my situation, I have one hand pointing a spray bottle at my dead-asleep girlfriend and one hand reaching under the bed to grab my cat. My eyes trained on my GF, I reach blindly under the dark bed. I can feel its soft fur. I wrap my hand around it and attempt to bring it towards me. It wriggles free from my grasp with evidently zero intention of making this easy. It crawls deeper under the bed. Frustrated, I take my eyes off my girlfriend to look where it went. No sign of it. I make the call to put the spray bottle down and point my phone flashlight under the bed. It's too deep underneath for me to get it from this side. I'm going to need to go around to the other side to capture it. Pulling my head back out from underneath the bed, I realize my fatal error. My girlfriend has woken up. She is standing over me, a dark tower, as I lay vulnerable on the ground beside the bed. Her teeth look sharper from this angle in my phone's flashlight. Why didn't I turn on the bedroom light? She is drooling that black oily glue. Her hair, normally a gorgeous brown, is so glossed with black paste that it has slicked itself to her head like she just got out of the shower. Her eyes are menacing, wide open, bloodshot and yellow. She looks tired. I'm tired too. But it's time to go. The cat heroics can wait. Just as I'm about to scuttle an adrenaline-filled crawl around her legs and out the open door, she grabs both ankles with both of her arms. I remember her typically gentle touch is nowhere to be found in this grip as her nails dig shallow wounds into my legs. With inhuman strength she begins raising my entire body weight by my legs, plainly in an attempt to start eating me alive from the toes up. Little does she know, I've never skipped a leg day in my life. I kick my girlfriend square in her teeth with both feet. She drops me on my head but I can't feel it. While she is stunned I manage to get to my feet, carefully avoid the preternatural spiderweb paste, and exit the room. Hands shaking I adjust the chair to the correct angle just in time to hear agitated knocking on the other side. Baby, come back to bed, it's late, you're going to be so tired at work tomorrow. All of that, and I didn't even get the damn cat out. And my spray bottle is still in there. What the hell am I going to do now? I want to extend a massive thank you to all our listeners for being part of our exciting episode. Your support is what makes this podcast possible, and we are thrilled to have you with us on this journey. If you enjoyed our adventure into the unknown today, please share this podcast with your fellow thrill seekers. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll dive into another captivating story full of mysteries and spine-tingling chills. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on any upcoming stories. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your hearts brave, and your lights on. After all, you never know what's lurking in the shadows. This is your host, signing off. Stay safe and keep exploring the unexplored.